What's up, tennis fans? Sleepy Picks here. We got some first round matches that concluded at the Geneva Open, so we got some second round picks to look at. Let's take a look at the draw. And here's a look at Fritz's half of the draw. And we did talk last night, about the Navone and Norrie match, but I'll give you guys the cliff notes. What an amazing win for Navone over Trungelliti. He was down 7-5, 5-1. Trungelliti didn't have any match points, but he did have a lot of opportunities to close that match out. And we did see a little bit of nerves. And then unfortunately for Trungelliti, the cramps started to creep in the third set. But unreal for Navone. It just shows you he is willing to fight till the very last point, and that's the kind of guy that I like to get behind for sure here. So I'm going to take him against Norrie. Navone does have the head-to-head over Norrie as well, so he's beaten him before. He's got some familiarity there, and I just love the way that he grinds out matches. I think he's going to be able to do it here. Same thing against Cam Norrie. So I'm going to go Navone to advance in 3 sets. And then just looking at this draw as a whole, I do like Navone, if he's able to get through the Norrie match, to advance out to the semifinals. We saw Komasana win today. We'll talk about that match tomorrow when the Munar and Bassivaretti match have been concluded. And then on the other side of the draw, if Casper Ruud is still there, I do like him to get through that match and or get through to the semifinals, and he'll probably end up making the finals. We'll see what we have of Fritz. Fritz is also playing the doubles in this tournament as well, so he's trying to get a little bit more familiarity on the clay, which is good, especially going into the French Open. He's not throwing the entire clay season away, but he's been nursing a knee injury as well, so we'll have to see how the movement is. He's gonna have to play either Tabur or Popperin. If he plays Popperin, he's gonna have to face that big forehand, so there's gonna be a lot of absorbing there, so we'll see how the knee holds up. But I like Casper Ruud to get out to the finals here. Let's take a look at the next part of the draw. And here's a look at Bublik's half of the draw. First match we're going to talk about is Stan Wawrinka against Alex Michelsen. And guys, I think I want to retract my statement that I think Stan's going to make the finals of this tournament. I don't know if he has it in him to do that, but that was a magical match today to watch. The crowd just getting behind him and willing him to that win. Really close breaker. I don't think there was a break after the first. I think it was like the first game in the second set, and then I don't think there was even a break point after that. So that's insane. Like, these guys were just holding serve. Brancaccio, he played all the big points very clutch, and it was a little unfortunate at the end. He got a little bit tight and then a little bit fatigued, and that's what kind of cost him the match there. But we know Stan, he was just forcing Brancaccio into these tough situations, ripping that backhand, ripping the forehand, opening the court up. And Stan looked good at the end. He looked fresh, but we got to see how the body recovers. And now he's going to be going up against Alex Michelsen, who was able to take out Baez. And Michelsen was up a break in this match. Michelsen was up a break in this match, and then Baez broke back to get to 5-all in that first set. And you kind of thought, oh, it's going to turn a little bit here. It looks like Baez is really going to take control of this match. But Michelsen gets right back, breaks, and then holds for the set. And I was really impressed by that. I'm still not bought in on the Michelsen movement on the clay just yet, but he was able to hit a lot of big shots. We've talked about in the comment section, a lot of people saying the Geneva courts are very fast, so that does favor Michelsen's game. It does also favor some of those big shots from Stan as well. And guys, did you see Monfils was in the crowd there to watch Stan? I mean, that's such great stuff. You really you get chills when you watch these matches here from these guys. But looking at this head-to-head, we got Michelsen coming in. He's 3-5 on the clay, 6-5 last year, 4-9 the year before. He's coming off a loss to Offner in Rome, 6-3, 6-3, able to beat Baez in straight sets. Stan, on the other hand, he's 2-4 on the clay this year. 11-12 last year, 5-10 the year before. Hasn't had a winning season since 2023 on the clay. Had that nice 3-set win over Brancaccio, but was not able to get through the qualifiers of Rome, having to withdraw against Corena Busta. And crossover match here, Stan did also play Offner and lost 6-3, 6-4. So both guys with straight set losses to Sebastian Offner. Not sure how much we can really pull from there. As I mentioned before, no head-to-head for these guys. Stan's got about 2 hours on court. Alex Michelsen's match was only an hour and 20. The thing that keeps wearing on me right now is I felt like Brancaccio, he moved like a clay court player. Like he looked comfortable on the clay court. Mickelson is not going to be comfortable on the clay court. Baez wasn't able to expose that much because he couldn't get Mickelson on his back foot today. Mickelson was hitting with the ball in front of him. He looked good. I think Stan is going to have opportunities to push Mickelson back on his back foot. And that to me is going to open the court up tremendously and challenge that Mickelson movement. I can't believe I'm going to do this, guys, but I'm going to go with Stan here. I think it's going to be another three-setter. Let's ride the wave. Stan's going to win in three. Next match, we have Tsitsipas taking on Tien. Tsitsipas able to get through a tough match against Pericard. In the first set, he was able to break early in the first game, and that's exactly what you want to do against a big server like Pericard. Before they get into that big-time serving rhythm, see if you can get a break, chip a few returns back, play some points out, and that's exactly what Tsitsipas did. Able to break early and hold all the way through to get a 6-4 win in that first set. And, Pericard started to win his serve a lot easier the minute he started to serve more to the backhand side of Tsitsipas. And I was really surprised that, especially Pericard, having a one-hander himself, why it took him so long to figure that out. I was like, we were in the third service game, and Tsitsipas had a chance to go up a double break. And then we see Pericard finally starting to use that kick serve, use the wide serve on the ad side to save the break points and get points for himself. But once he did that, he was able to hold serve a lot easier. Second set, we hold all the way through. We get to a breaker. And Tsitsipas has a 6-2 lead in that breaker. So you think this match is over. It's done and dusted. But Pericard's able to come back, and this match starts to feel a lot like that Casper Ruud match where Tsitsipas had the match points, lets them go. It just seems like he's so indecisive on these match points. A few of them, he was on offense, and he just misses the last shot, the put-away shot, and, it got very tricky. Pericard had a set point to go 3 sets, which would have been so bad for Tsitsipas, especially mentally. That's got to wear on you. But Tsitsipas able to come up with a couple of really clutch shots and win the breaker 10-8. And now he will advance to play Tien. No head-to-head for these two guys. We got Tien coming in. He's 3-3 on the clay, 3-7 last year, 0-1 the year before. He's coming off a loss to Hadar in the 4th round of Rome, but he was able to beat Jumer and Bublik on the way there. Tsitsipas, on the other hand, he's 4-4 on the clay, 7-5 last year, 22-6 the year before that. He's coming off a straight set loss to Mahatch in Rome. And we've talked about this. I sound like a broken record saying this. Tsitsipas has never had a losing season on the clay in his entire career. And now he's on the verge of doing it. Looking at this matchup, guys, for me, here's how I think it's going to go. Number one, how is Tien going to move on the clay? We're going to see Tsitsipas test that movement of Tien. And honestly, on a hard court, we're picking Tien all day to win in straight sets, right? Because he can defend so much better. He uses the legs a lot more. But now you got to slide a little bit more to get out there. He's going to have to defend against that forehand of Tsitsipas. Can he do it? I don't know. The second thing is, I really think this is going to be a 3-set match, and I think Tsitsipas is going to have match points in this match, and I think he's going to lose. We've seen it before, and now we haven't seen it so much on the clay, but I'm going back to the Delray Beach matches where Tien had a couple of matches where he looked down and out, serving to stay in the match or serving down a break with the opponent serving for the match. And Tien's able to dig himself out. And I think if Tsitsipas gives Lerner the opportunities to win some of these close games, Lerner's going to take them. And that's what scares me the most about this matchup, is Tsitsipas just gives you too many opportunities. There are a few games in that second set where Tsitsipas would start down low 30. And I honestly think if it's Lerner Tien, who has love 30 on the Tsitsipas serve, he's probably going to be able to break. So I got to go with Tien to advance here. I'm going to go with Lerner Tien to win in 3 sets. Next matchup is the 2 seed Bublik against Butvilas. Butvilas able to get through Sonego today, and honestly, guys, this is red flags for me for Sonego. I believe he's going to be in the main draw of Roland Garros. I'm not picking him to advance. I really don't even care who he plays. What I saw today was just a guy that needs to learn or re-figure out how to win a match. He was just playing so defensive, looking for the Butvilas errors. They weren't coming. Butvilas able to expose Sonego from being so far back, using the drop shot over and over and over again. And I'm like, how many drop shots is he going to hit before Sonego is like, maybe I should step in a little bit more? Didn't happen. We had the first set, Sonego goes down a break, which definitely not where you want to be against a guy who's playing as an underdog. Might have a little bit of nerves. Sonego throws in a few errors, gives him the break to start. Bublik gets a lot of confidence going through that set. Sonego has a few chances, a few games to break back, but not enough. He gets broken a second time to lose the set. And then the second set is just a lot of errors from Sonego, and Bublik just playing with tons of confidence. So now we have Bublik advancing to play Sasha Bublik, and no head-to-head here for these guys. We have Bublik coming in. He's 12-7 on the clay, 2-10 last year, 26-11 the year before. He's been able to get through qualifiers, beating Mueller, Duckworth, and now Sonego in the first round. Bublik, on the other hand, is 3-4 on the clay, 23-6 last year, 5-6 the year before. Last year was his only winning season on the clay since 2016. So it was really a remarkable season from Alexander Bublik to get the win, to be 23-6. And now we see a lot of regression here this year, and that's something I expected. Whether it was on the clay, where he had a lot of success, but also we're seeing it on the hard courts, and I think we'll see it on the grass as well. He was 5-1 last year on the grass. Bublik is coming off a 3-set loss to Lerner Tien in Rome. He was able to beat Baez in the second round and lost 7-5 in the third set to Lerner. Just looking at this matchup, I'm going to take Bublik. There's going to be a lot of drop shots. I'll be interested to see how Bublik is going to handle the drop shots from Butvilas, but also, are we going to get a lot of redrops from Butvilas off of the Bublik drop shots? I'm going to take Bublik here. I think he advances in straights. There's not really much more that I can say about this match. I just think Bublik's on a different level, even though he hasn't been playing that great. But I'm going to take him to advance here in straights. And here's look at Bublik's half of the draw. For Stan and Michelsen, it's kind of two different stories. Would love to see Stan make it out in the home tournament, maybe make a final, maybe make it out to the semis. He does have a pretty nice road there, but it's going to be more about the body for him. Is he going to have the endurance to keep playing some of these tougher matches? For Michelsen, if he can get the confidence maybe going into the French Open, something that he's been lacking a little bit on the clay. We've seen him get very frustrated losing some closer matches. But if he can get a few wins here, especially a win against Stan would be huge for him. That'll build the confidence up a lot going into Roland Garros. Lerner Tien, that Tsitsipas and Tien match is going to be huge as well. And again, I'm waiting for Lerner to kind of figure out his movement here on the clay, because he is so predicated on taking the ball early, moving really well, covering a lot of balls with his defense. And if he can learn that on the clay, I think he's going to be very dangerous. So maybe we'll see that here. And then on the other side, I really think it's going to be Bublik getting all the way out to the finals of this tournament. But let me know what you guys think. Post your picks in the comments. Here's a look at our first round record so far. 4-3, not too bad. Hopefully we can improve tomorrow. And as always, guys, thanks again for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share your picks in the comments. Share the video. We will have a video out every single night for the Geneva Open and the Hamburg Open, recapping the day and giving you some picks for the next few days. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.